How goes it, folks? Charlie Yellow talking to you. So, I have been rewatching Scorpion, and I have to say that my thoughts and feelings on it are very different now than they were 10 years ago. So, first and foremost, we see Walter, and he is breaking up with his girlfriend at the start of the series, and this the conversation they have is very much there to establish that when it comes to interpersonal relationships and emotional awareness, Walter is not exactly the highest intelligent there. Oh yeah, book sense and everything like that. Oh yeah, he is. Established in the show, he's like the fourth highest IQ ever recorded. Kind of touting those smarts to where he has the book smarts, but he doesn't have the emotional smarts to go along with it. And I have to say, I'm starting to see myself in the cast of Scorpion. When I watched the original series 10 years ago, it was just, oh, okay, it's a show with super geniuses doing their thing. But now I go back and watch it, and it's like, I have similar behaviors to some of those characters. And I'm definitely not trying to say that, like, watching Scorpion and relating to a lot of what they do, what happens to them and how they experience the world and their behaviors, it'll prove that you have some sort of neurodivergency, but it may be worth checking and looking into. When they get to the end of the episode, they've solved like the disaster of the week. I think in the first episode it was, planes were about to crash due to buggy software, and they had to figure out how to update the software while planes were in the air running out of fuel. And multiple times throughout the episode, Paige, another character in the series, she injects an emotional intelligence that Walter is very clearly lacking, and it obviously it helps boost them up to, or inspire him to work harder at the problem of the week, the plane crashes that are about to happen. But I just noticed in that, and some of the things that she says to him very much rang out to me. Like, for example, probably about 3/4 into the episode, he starts to detach because he's getting to a point where he's run out of ideas. He and the team don't know what to do, and the federal agent that's working with him, he has his finger on the button for a final solution, which is call in fighter jets and shoot the planes down so that they don't crash over civilian areas and cause casualties on the ground. And Walter's like down on himself, thinking that's going to be the only way to do this, is to sacrifice a few lives to save a whole lot more. And Paige just gets in there and she reams him one and lets him know, like, look, you're doing exactly what my son does. When he thinks he can't figure something out, he gets scared, he gets attached.
You're doing what Ralph does when he doesn't understand how to fix a problem. He panics and shuts down. When you don't know something, you feel like you don't know anything.
For all practical purposes, I have no right brain. People with high IQ tend to have low EQ. That's emotional quotient. So these big speeches, pep talks, they don't work on me. They work on athletes, they work on children, they work on waitresses. They don't work on people like me.
I get it. I'm the dumb waitress.
I never
called you
called
But I'm smart
you
enough
that.
to know that you're scared. You don't know how to solve the problem, and you're terrified because people will die.
And that hit too close to home for me. Too close. So yeah, there's a lot of potential self-examination going on in Scorpion, but try not to make this post too much longer. I'm going to continue watching Scorpion, and again, this isn't just a straight walkthrough, run through of each episode from here to there. It's just going to be particular moments or something that relates to me personally. If you want commentary on the episodes, feel free to stop and ask me, or put something in the comments of, hey, what'd you think of this episode, or ask me about something specific, because I am still watching every episode. I'm just not posting about every episode, every disaster of the week and things like that. So you folks have a good one. Jolly Yellow out. As always, keep exploring.